Hey guys, my name is Raven Phoenix and welcome to the Structure of Man, Learn to Draw the Human Figure from your Mind training course. Okay, so in the previous lesson we had seen that we had conceptually understood and mastered the skeletal structure from the side view, right? So now what we're going to do is draw it from a 3/4 view. Right, so we're almost done with this lesson series in the skeletal structure. So here we already know that, okay, we can just simply just put a line down in this way here, right? So here I'm just going to make sure I'm on camera. So and here we can just simply make this into a gesture system like this, right? It'll be down here, and then over here, make it like so. Right, so you can see here that this ability that we've developed, right? So here I know that the camera here, that this is the top of the camera, this is the bottom, right? So regardless of what kind of box, even if you're doing sequential art, you'll be able to just understand that how to fit things in that box shape, right? If you're doing a figure like this. So once we have this, we already know that, okay, so the crotch is about here, and then you're going to get the line for the chest. So this is going to be basically the line for the head. So again, we're just going to do the same thing that we've been doing before and just put down the structure here, understanding that the negative space is there, right? We got to go through this training process first before looking at more complicated poses, right? So we understand about this process over here. And we know that this is going to be the idea here for the pelvic area here. And this is going to be easy over here. So here we'll do the hand. Actually, we'll do the hand going in this way, like the thumb is going this way. And I'll draw it out like this. So here I'll put a little bit of a bend on the hand over here, right? And then let's do this arm this way. Let's do it this way, that we and since it's a 3/4 view going out in this way, right, give it more of a much more of an organic look. So here I can just, once I have these concepts, I can erase this line here that I put down for the gesture system. You can see what's going on. So once this is done, you know what's going to happen next, right? It's basically like a story mode system. Regardless of which area we begin, it doesn't matter, right? As long as we have the concept down. So once we have this, we know that we can just simply erase some of these lines here very lightly, right? Just keep the anomalies in the back in the drawing process, and then come back and do a successful drawing. I'm just going to sharpen the pencil really quickly here. So here we know that, okay, original ideas is that we just get the jaw over here, and we're going to get the head shape here, right? So this is the first drawing process. Just get the basic shapes down first. And then over here, we're going to get the neck area, just like this. Over here, we're going to get like this tie system over here, and then draw out the chest cavity in this way, right? So it's going to be basically like this. Right, so this is the second drawing process. The second drawing process is just get your forms down now. So here, I'm going to just work out that this is going to be the pelvis area over here, right? And here you have to kind of like fiddle with it a little bit, right? Because you gotta just understand, get the mind to understand what is it that you're drawing, and then get that idea in there. Over here, we know that this is just going to be curving in this way, and this will go in this direction, and you'll get that idea here. So once you get that, you can like zoom out and see, okay, did I do the pelvis in the correct proportion, right? This is something we're going to have to deal with all the time. So here we know that the line for the knee is going to be here, so it's going to be kind of like above this over here. So for this, we are just going to simply draw out the femur over here, and then draw out this bone over here, and this is going to be a little more in perspective over here, so it's going to be a little longer this way, right? So once you draw out the bones, just make sure that hey, did I come out too far, because I really want this to look like a male figure. Okay, so once we've done this over here, we're going to do it this way. Just quickly put down the tibia and the fibula over here. Right, this is going to be very easy. This should be very easy now for you. And then over here, we're going to get that slight slant over there, right? So basically, we're repeating what we've done before. And then over here, we know that, okay, this is going to be the scapula over here, going to do this, right? So we can do this very fast. And over here, now we want to understand, okay, well, the original idea is that we want the thumb really to go over here in this angle, right? So how should this really be solved here, right? So this is where you want to start to begin to think in 3D, knowing that, okay, well, you have to kind of like study your arm to see, well, understand where this point is going to be, right? So it's going to be like this, right? So you can understand this more in a 3D idea. So this part here, obviously, the ulna is going to go here, and then the radius is going to come over here on this side, right? Because the arm is now moving in this direction. We kind of like turned it into a 3D idea. So what this means is that this humerus bone is going to be now like this, right? It's going to be going like this and curving towards us, right? So it'll be like this. It'll have like a small curve on that end, right? So here is the clavicle going in that direction. So notice that there's a space here. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Just knowing that, okay, the scapula is over there, and then here it's going to be the same determination. Where is this, right? So where this is, I know that the belly button is here, and then you just do like a comparison of a pendulum system. So here we're going to do that funny bone over here, and this is just going to go like this over here, right? And then over here, think about this now, this is the thumb, so this means that the radius needs to come over here, right? So it's going to be from here, it's going to come like this from the other side, and this bone is going to be there on the other side, right? So your elbow is on the other side, but this is how it would turn. And then over here, this is going to be very simple, just drawing out conceptually what is it that you want, right? So here we could actually do it this way, and then we know that this is just going to come here, and you're going to get this, right? So just be suggestive with those bones. It's just too tiny to show on camera, right? So if you did these drawings bigger, you could magnify this and start to get into the details. But we've already looked at how to solve the hand anyways. Okay, so here we're going to do this over here, and let's say over here we can even do, let's say that this finger is going to be like this, and then we could like crumple up some of these fingers, right, going in all these different directions, right? We know it's going to work out for us. We just need to be more of a suggestive idea here, and then here for the thumb we can just do it this way, right? So this is really the palm area over here, and this is going to be the palm area over there, right? So again, we've solved that problem, right? So here you can again once go through this and look at it and say if everything balanced out correctly, right? Should the head be a little bigger or not, right? So you can just bulk up the head a little more, because these types of anomalies are going to happen, right? You have to like go through that process of figuring things out. when you're drawing it freehand, especially a complex structure like this over here, right? So we've basically done this correctly here, and then over here we're going to just come down over over here, and we already know how this is going to be. It's just going to go on the other side over here, and then over here, right? You just got to think about this as a shoe design, really, right? And then when we get into the muscles, all of this is going to then make more sense that we can do the foot. So once that's done, I'm happy with what I have, right? So the next process is going through your third drawing process. And the third drawing process is now getting all the details in. So this is going to be the easy part over here. It's going to lightly erase these lines, right? And then come back in and start developing the ideas. So here I'm going to get the jaw over here, right? I already know this is the eye line over here, so I'm going to get that area over here for the nose, right? So you can see that we don't even have to measure even when it comes to the head because we're just used to the ideas. But obviously if the drawing is much more bigger, then you do have to measure things out. But if it's this small, your mind's eye can see the ratios from much more further away. So here I'm just going to do this more of an artistic style here again. Right, so this is always on an angle over here. Already know about the clavicle goes up here. It's going to go here. I'm going to get that bone structure over here. Over here, we're going to do the clavicle a little like this over here on this side. It's kind of like going in perspective. Do a little bit of the scapula over here. And make it go in this direction. Right, so this is just the rib cage going in this way. I'm going to get the sternum over here. Right, so again, this is a conceptual design, right? A detailed design, like a detailed process would be to now start really going in there and spending more time, and that video would be just too long. Okay, so this is done here. We got essentially get this over there, and here is going to be the bone again. We're going to right, this area here is going to be fundamentally important. That idea here is the radius. And here's going to be the ulna. This is just twisting. And this is going to be your wrist area first. Then you'll get your fingers over here, and here again we can just be suggestive with this idea. And over here it's going to be the same thing. Let's go down this way, right? This is really going to be in that much more of a perspective idea here. So this, we know that this is just going to come over here. Like this. And then this bone here is just going to connect over here in this way. But these are like these fine details that we're doing. So you'll see like a little bit of the elbow on that side. And here I'm just going to leave that be. It's just the palm of the hand. Here's the bones for it over here. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember here you're going to get that little piece of bone over there. Right, so here I'm just going to clean up some of this fuzzy area here like, right, so that goes there, and then over here we can just come like this, and this way over here. Okay, so for this area here, I'm going to do this bone like this. The knee. Then you're going to get a tibia over here, and then we'll get the fibula over here. And this one will just finish this off over here. Right, so this is going to be the spine area. Going in this way, we already know how to do this. Just divide this in this way, right? So you've got this area over here. And then you're going to get conceptually these ideas over here. Right, if you want to make this realistic, you can. Okay, so to finish this off here, now let's just work on this chest cavity. We already know this is going to be the top one, the 12th one. This is really just going to be the 11th one over here. And over here we know this is the 7th one that's going to go upwards over here. Right, and then you're going to get the 8th one. Then you're going to get the 9th one and the 10th one. Right, it just has to be do with suggestion. Right, so this one is going to come here, and then this one will go up the other way. So here, this is 2, I need 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so I'm going to get these ideas here. Right, so you'll have like a bone structure here that we talked about. Conceptually, I mean, you can just make this darker if that part darker if you really want to show it. Right, we can spend more time on it and show this whole bone structure here to how this is working. You'll notice we talked about this whole area here. It's a separate thing, and then they connect. Right, and then now to finish this off, we know what we have to do over here. And then we're done with this, and then over here this one will hang off, then you'll get one more over here, then from the 10th get it this way. Right, so conceptually we've also now fully completed this from a 3/4 view. So here we can say again that we have mastered the conceptual idea of the skeletal structure from the 3/4 view. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.